Pro Box fans here with none other than my old friend Bryant Jennings. Bryant, welcome back to the UK. You should just buy a house here, man. You should just get yourself a flat or a house here.
UK has become a second home. So as soon as I got off the plane, man, I got right in the gym. I didn't expect to work out, but I worked out, and it hurt me right now, but we all good. I'm happy to be here. It's always love when I'm here.
Obviously, before my technical issue that I just had, you were sort of telling me why you're here. You're here to be part of Team Chisora with this fight with Usyk. Just talk to me about what you bring to camp.
Yeah, well, as everybody would know, I'm here for Dereck. He's in preparation for the May 23rd fight against Alexander Usyk, and I'm here to make sure that he gets the job done. When I come, I bring. I bring the work ethic. I bring the humor. We bring the fun as well. It's training. For somebody that works just as hard as me. And Dereck, he works just as hard as me. So I'm working alongside of him, and we pushing each other. And we become neck and neck at certain things, and we also make fun with it. So we're smiling because if he's hurting, I'm hurting too. If I see him hurting, I want to do what you just did, and I want to hurt like you, or I want to do what you say that's a little difficult, for you to do, so I can find it difficult as well, so you won't be alone, so you won't feel alone. And I think sometimes, in boxing and training and preparation, we need that because it's boring as fuck. You get your sparring partners in. They only come on sparring days. You don't see them. It's like, so me and him side by side the whole way through.
Let's talk about the enigma in the room, which is Alexander Usyk. A lot of people don't know what to expect from him in the heavyweight division. We know he's had one bout, and it was a fight that was supposed to sort of wean him into the division. Right. He's picked a tough veteran in the sport in Dereck Chisora. Just talk to me about Alexander Usyk. We know that he comes from a good amateur background, undisputed in the cruiserweight division. But what do you think he can bring to this heavyweight division?
Yeah, well, he could definitely bring some good technical abilities into this heavyweight division. He's definitely a great boxer. Definitely moves very well, very slick. Southpaw. He's all of that. But one thing that he has yet to prove, based on the fact that it's only being his second, heavyweight fight, is that, is he ready for the heavyweight power and the higher, in the higher class of fighters? Could he be able to handle, particular pressure coming from a guy with much more strength? He has the movement to do so. He has every accolade. He has every ability to do so, as far as what we've seen in his cruiserweight. But he's yet to prove it, and he has to prove it. And come May 23rd, this is going to be a great test for him. I think it's going to be, me honestly, I think it's going to be not too much of a test, but the ultimate test. Coming from a person like Dereck, because there's not many bigger guys that's like either explosive or whatever. The bigger they are, the more they take away from it. So it's like Dereck is 6'1", 6'2", explosive, and he's actually getting better. At 36 years old, he's actually getting better with his with his ability, with his conditioning, his endurance. So I think, and he's strong. So I think that's one of the main things that's going to be a difficult task for Usyk. Is fighting off that power and that relentlessness and the pressure that Dereck's going to bring.
I was going to ask you, in regards to the style of the fights, we know that Dereck Chisora is a very aggressive, spoke by it there, yeah. Aggressive, come forward, brings the power, willing to trade. But do you feel against Usyk that could play into Usyk's hand? Somebody that's a mover, looks for somebody that comes forward maybe? Or do you take positives from the Tony Bellew fight where, Tony at some point in the fight was sort of connecting against Usyk? How do you approach this fight? How do you see this fight?
I mean, you can't really map fights out like that, okay. But I mean, I just think that he has to be, both of them have to be perfect. I'm not sure of Usyk's punching power, to say that, okay, he can be able to stop Dereck, or he could be able to hurt Dereck over and over again. Like it's okay to get hurt once or twice, but to be continuously hurt over and over again from like a overpowering of your opponent, I don't think he actually has that. If he does, he does, but if he doesn't, I'm not sure. But I don't think that he actually has that. So I think he's going to have to be perfect with his movement. Dereck has to be relentless and more perfect with his head movement, coming in with a jab or doing whatever we work on, in camp. But I just think that this fight here is pretty much a hard one to judge, as far as if we matching up these abilities and if this person does this, if this person does that. Because Usyk's a very good mover, but Dereck's a very good pressure fighter, but these are the things that make fights. Styles make fights, and we can only make assumptions until the night comes.
Let's talk about the rest of the heavyweight division, something that seems to be booming in the last 12 to 18 months, especially after Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder went at it the second time. Just talk to me about that. There's been a lot of things come out afterwards, regarding Deontay Wilder's loss. But first of all, just talk to me about Tyson Fury's performance on the night.
Yeah, well, Tyson Fury's performance was beautiful. Like, I knew that he had it in him to outclass him tremendously. I knew Tyson had it in him to do everything but knock him out in that fashion. That was beautiful, and for Wilder, he never really got a chance to get started. I was rooting for Wilder, not because I thought he would win, and not because I actually liked him better, but I felt Wilder's pain after a while, and he needed some support. And, like, I'm cool with both of them. So, it was like to choose between one or the other. But I definitely sided with Wilder based on the fact that, we doing this. We in here, we fighting this shit. And we got something that we really, really, really want to fight for. And despite his inabilities and despite his lack of, techniques over the years and what people would say, and what I would have said a couple times too, but his punching power was phenomenal. And I thought I was sold to believe that that punch of Wilder's would win the fight, and that would take him to another level. But some things, everything happens for a reason, and I'm not glad that it happened. But things like that needs to happen, and things like that could actually make someone look at certain things different. Because if you're winning all the time, you don't never get the lesson. Sometimes the best lesson is with a win when you pretty much almost lost or they gave you the fight. But this here should be something that Wilder should be able to look at. He's now faced the loss, and can't wait to see him come back. See what he does based on that. But far as Fury, Fury is Fury. Everybody knows Fury is a very technical, very very classy, very able guy. He did exactly what I thought he would do, but not knock him out in that fashion. I didn't see that coming at all.
Do you see the third fight playing out the same as the second fight?
It's not that I don't want to see it. I do not really like watching boxing at all, especially if it's someone that I know. I'm sitting there, my legs shaking, and people looking at me like, "Yo, but you do this." I was like, "It's different." I really don't like watching it. I would rather watch two people that I don't know at all. I also don't I don't really like the hype of certain things, and I would choose to do other things based on some stubbornness. I'll go do something else and be like, because I don't really like doing what everybody else is doing. But I don't really want to see the third fight, but I definitely want to see Wilder attempt to redeem himself. So for the sake of someone trying to get their win back, that's the only reason why I would want to see that fight. But other than that, it's just you get moving on. Somebody else fight somebody else or whatever it is. But I definitely can't take that away from Wilder for him to want to get that win back. And I think, not to say Fury would do the same thing, but here we go again. Wilder's punch. We still have to look into that, and that's his bread and butter. And I know it just sound one-dimensional, but that's his bread and butter, and those are the things that we will only look forward to. But other than that, If he don't get the knockout, he will not get the win. It's not that I don't think he will not get the win if he does not get the knockout. I mean, maybe if he get 4 knockdowns, maybe, but he can't. He can't beat Fury boxing.
After that fight, straight away, when you went on Twitter, there was a lot of people talking about Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury being the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing at this present time. Talk to me about that fight. If these guys were to fight, maybe at the end of the year, providing that they beat their opponents coming up or whatever else, how do you see that fight playing out?
Yeah, based on my biased attempts. I spent some time with AJ recently, no, he's gonna have a tough one on his hands as well. He's definitely gonna have a tough one on. Listen, Fury's good. He's good, and I don't give a fuck when somebody say, "Oh, you're not that good." He's good. He's 6'9", and he's doing what he's doing. He's good. He's good, but he definitely could be beat. I don't know for sure if it's going to be a taller fighter or it could be a short fighter. But you see how I went around the whole AJ. But I mean, that'll be something good to watch. Fury's a technical beast, but AJ's getting better. He's getting better. But we would just have to see how it all plays out in preparation for him and Fury. I think he would need a couple more fights with some more active guys, because Fury's pretty active as well. So within his preparation, within his sparring and all that stuff like that, bottom line, Fury could beat anybody except me. At least I would say.
I noticed how you said smaller fighters in that.
Yeah. No, because I think a person to beat Fury, it will have to be a mixture of things, because sometimes he probably wouldn't look as great with the other 2 fights that he just won, but it's just like them dudes didn't look like they had anything. Not to say they really didn't. He just probably took it away from them. But to be fair, you have to have a combination of things, and focus is the main key. I mean, I know that's for me. So for me to be focused and for me to be like, yo, be wild, it's either this or not. Then I would think a fighter such as myself with qualities such as mine, and not even to say just me. I be trying to be politically correct, because the motherfuckers in them comments, they say don't read the comments, and motherfuckers, you still read them damn things, and the motherfuckers, fuck this, and all right, man, look, but no, someone with such qualities as mine, and such tenacity as a focus me, would definitely get it. But yeah, so.
Final question. Just tell the fans the latest with yourself. Are you when you're out next? What's going on? We know you're obviously part of this camp for now, but things can change. Has there been any talks about our next fight?
Well, yeah, you can always find me on Instagram or Twitter at Bryant Jennings. Or all around the world, or doing something, assisting something. Check out Game Changers, the plant-based documentary. I'm always busy with something. You can catch me in LA, you can catch me in Houston, you can catch me in London. You can catch me at home in the trenches in Philly. But I'm always making sure that I just exercise life in its full realm. So what's next for me, really, I really don't know. We're really going to try to speak to Eddie and try to get something done for this May 23rd. I'm not gonna get a big secret on who I would go for. But it is what it is, and I kind of looked at boxing as I know it's either now or never, but I just stay exercising other different things. A lot of people don't understand that, because the boxer becomes crippled, because that's the only thing he knows how to do, and this is a short window, and if the shit don't look like it's open far enough for me, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something else until something comes. But for now, I'm definitely still fighting. I'm definitely, I'm still signed with Top Rank, still J Prince. That ain't going nowhere. But I'm actually looking to fight, hopefully 3 times this year. So.
Okay, I was going to say plug your social media, but you've done that about 3 times.
Yeah, I already done that. At Bryant Jennings on Instagram and Twitter. You know what I mean? And I'm coming out with a book. I have to set aside 3 to 6 months, maybe even longer, to properly get into the space and the zone to be able to do this book. I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of tweeting. I do all of these things. I have endless perspective about everything. And they label me intellectual. That's something that they gave me. But yeah, the book, a book is coming. Plenty of books is coming, inshallah. Within the next 2 years. But I don't know. Who knows? You might see me flying planes. I mean, an astronaut or something. Taking pictures of lions or something. Well, porn star maybe.
Never say never, they say, right? Bryant Jennings, thank you very much for talking to myself, and hopefully see you very soon.
We can't get no shakes. You just gotta get pound. You gotta get the side.
Thank you.
Give them no shake. That Rona out there killing us.